Did I ever tell you what the definition of insanity is? Insanity is doing the exact same fucking thing over and over again, expecting shit to change. That is crazy. But the first time somebody told me that, I don't know, I thought they were bullshitting me, so boom, I shot them. The thing is, okay, he was right. And then I started seeing it everywhere I looked. Everywhere I looked, all these fucking pricks. Everywhere I looked, doing the exact same fucking thing. Over and over and over and over and over again. Thinking, this time, it's gonna be different. No, please. This time, it's gonna be different. I'm sorry. I don't like the way you are looking at me. Okay? You have a fucking problem in your head. Do you think I'm bullshitting you? Do you think I'm lying? Fuck you! Okay? Fuck you! It's okay, man. I'm gonna chill here, man. I'm gonna chill. The thing is, alright? The thing is I killed you once already. And it's not like I am fucking crazy. It's okay. It's like water under the bridge. Did I ever tell you the definition of insanity?
Oh, Jesus.
No. Oh, fuck you!
Hello fellas, Hal here. Don't worry about the intro sequence, I just like a good hyperbole from time to time, the channel is fine for the moment. But I wanted to discuss some of the issues that it's currently facing, try to come up with solutions, and once we're done with that, I have an announcement to make. Now, this is my third attempt at making this introspective video. First attempt came across like a bunch of complaining, and second one was lengthier than I wanted, so I'm hoping that third time's the charm. Without further ado, let's begin. Throughout my YouTube career, if you can call it that, I've faced a lot of failure, but instead of giving up like a little bitch after every minor bump in the road, I chose to view each failure as a lesson, and after many lessons, I came up with a method of video creation that really suits my particular talents. This method involves chasing trends in gaming, more specifically, wait for a new game to be released and then quickly put together tutorial videos that explain some less understood mechanics of that game. Thanks to a bit of luck, this method actually worked first time I tried it back in 2018 when Kingdom came and delivered a clunky lockpicking mechanic that had many people scratching their heads. For me, it was super simple to figure out the ins and outs of lockpicking, and within a week, I managed to cobble together a 15-minute long thievery tutorial which got more views in the following month than my channel pulled in all the years prior. And just like that, I found my niche, my little corner of YouTube in which to grow and prosper. After a few more roadblocks, I eventually finished an entire tutorial series for KCD, and that is still one of my most watched projects. As new games kept releasing, I kept doing this with varying degrees of success. But in 2020, Bannerlord was supposed to come out, and because I had a very enjoyable trader campaign in Mountain Blade Warband, I knew I wanted to create trade guides for this new entry in the franchise. Those tutorials actually performed very well, due in no small part to the overwhelming support given by the new folks who found the channel through their views, likes, and encouraging comments. Among those comments, however, there were a few requests for a trader playthrough, and thinking that's an easy job, I said to myself, why not? How long could it possibly take? 6 months, during which my channel suffered greatly. Just a complete and utter nosedive in terms of views, subscribers, and of course, cold hard cash, which I unfortunately need in order to sustain my crumbling biological shell, as well as pay the exorbitant electricity bill without which I couldn't produce my videos. Patreon link in the description. Just kidding, this is not an e-begging video. You can find the link somewhere else if you're that eager to part with your money. Now, do I regret making trader stories? No, I'm quite happy with how it turned out. What I do regret is how poorly it performed, because before committing my time to that series, I was planning to create a lot of other Bannerlord tutorials for combat, tactics, kingdom management, and so on, and I believe that if I followed my initial plan, my channel would be in a better shape right now. We'll never know. But after that campaign, I was itching to get back to my method of covering new games, and because that new game was Cyberpunk 2077, which I've been awaiting for 7 years at that point, it was time to get to work. Unfortunately, the game was kind of a broken mess upon its release. Even so, I still wanted to make videos for it and eventually released this beast of a cyberware guide, but by the time that project was uploaded, Cyberpunk has already been trashed, thrown into a dumpster, and then set ablaze, as interest for it died down, along with any hopes my video had of getting enough views to pay for the time I put into it. Nowadays, because of the anime, the game is trending again, and so is my cyberware tutorial, so in a way, my efforts finally paid off, even though the video is a bit outdated by now. But I'm getting sidetracked. At the time, Cyberpunk videos didn't get a whole lot of traction, and I wanted to return to Bannerlord, this time with a reboot of one of my old videos titled Rock Bottom Challenge or something to that effect. And since my trend-chasing method just failed in spectacular fashion, I wanted to try another approach, which I will name Begging for Likes. Original, I know. Before you judge, you have to understand. Throughout my years on YouTube, I've seen a lot of people relying on this method. Some would just nicely ask for thumbs, others would offer monetary incentives, and a few would outright demand them at gunpoint. Because of this obsession with digits, I developed the theory that you can increase the amount of views on your channel by getting people to like your videos, and so I started doing some research which consisted of dividing the number of views that a video got to the amount of thumbs it has received. There were some exceptions that got over 50, but on average, each video scored 15 to 30 views for every thumbs up. Out of 100 videos, I might have seen 2 that were below 12 views per like, which means that they were forsaken by the algorithm. No other explanation. But we were talking about the Rock Bottom Challenge, so let's get back to that. Since this was supposed to be my great return to Calradia, after a couple of months of aimlessly wandering through the streets of Night City, I decided to run a test. Promise to turn this scenario into a complete playthrough if the video reaches a certain number of likes. To my disbelief, it actually did. You absolute mad lads. All I asked for was 20,000 thumbs, and nowadays it stands at over 35,000. Not only that, but the algorithm has blessed that video with almost 37 views per like, which is way above average, so now I'm beholden to carry on with my duty and deliver the Bandit campaign. Thing is, the reason I asked for that many upvotes was because I believed it would be impossible, and if I was correct in my belief, I wouldn't have had to dedicate another 6 months, or an entire year, or more, to another playthrough. What I'm trying to say is that after Trader Stories failed, I was reluctant to invest that much time into another campaign, and I was ready to get back to tutoring as I fully expected my test to be another fart in the wind. It wasn't, I made a promise, and I intended to carry it on. So after publishing my Raid Guide trilogy, I began working on the first episode of Bandit's Ballads, which actually performed quite well. So did episodes 2, 3, and 4, but because each episode was taking me a month to produce, interest eventually died down, and so did the views. Actually, interest itself didn't die down. The views dropped because of YouTube's recommendation system, which I will explain shortly. Thing is, I knew this was bound to happen, and in a futile attempt to prevent my channel from experiencing the same nosedive as it did during Trader Stories, I imposed a like requirement on each episode. I mean, how can I roleplay as a bandit if I don't hold you at ransom? Jokes aside, we've already established that each thumbs up translates to roughly 20 views on average, and since my last campaign failed, despite my best attempts to upload episodes on a weekly basis, it was a choice between this or spamming daily content, which is not something I'm particularly good at. Maybe that's something I need to change about myself. But I needed to offer people an incentive for pressing the button, and in my infinite wisdom, I came up with the best solution ever and said something like, "Guys, each video takes a month to produce, but if you'd be so kind as to give today's episode 3000 likes, I'll do my best to release the next one within a week." Not a single episode got its like requirement fulfilled on time, but even if they did and I had to adopt a weekly schedule, I would have been forced to cut 70% of the scripting and editing that goes into these videos, so in a way, your thumbs would have bought you shittier, albeit more frequent episodes. Alas, that didn't happen, and I'm proud to say that Bandits Ballads has gone on for 11 well-executed episodes. You know, for the most part. But something's wrong, I can feel it. Remember when I said that the average ratio of views per like, or VPL for short, was 15 to 30 and that the lowest ratio I've ever seen was 12? Well, the last few episodes of Bandits Ballads have an average VPL of 7. At some point, that ratio was as low as 4.9, but ever since the Cyberpunk video began to rise, my whole channel seems to have risen with it, ever so slightly. On the other hand, if you switch the numbers around and divide the amount of likes to the views of a video, I'm pretty much the most well-liked YouTuber ever, with approximately 15% of my viewers taking the time to press the button, compared to other channels that are liked by a mere 5% of their audience. My glass is half empty and half full at the same time, depending on how you look at it. But you know how I look at it? Not only did the algorithm decide that my playthrough is worthless and my efforts are in vain, but that what you like doesn't matter, your vote doesn't count, simply because you are a halcyon enjoyer. According to the numbers, we're the lowest of the low, the scum of the fucking earth, and I appreciate each and every one of you for it. You're the best community one could hope for, because even though my content is slow, you keep supporting the channel, and if this series were to be treated fairly and have the same healthy VPL that most videos are getting, I could focus on finishing Balon's story without any other distractions. I wouldn't need to compromise or chase trends or make demands. Anyway, at first I thought that I'm shadow banned due to some of the stupid jokes that I make from time to time. A conspiracy theory of sorts, but if that were the case, my other videos would suffer as well, and they're not. In fact, my channel's performance is almost acceptable at the moment, as it's being carried by Ukzug's Experience, my Cyberpunk guide, and other old videos that I've made, so no, there's no conspiracy afoot, just my sheer incompetence, because here's how YouTube's recommendation system works. You see, guides and reviews for a new game can get suggested on all videos that discuss that new game. But playthrough episodes do not get recommended to people who aren't already invested in the series. Basically, if you're currently watching episode 9 of Bandits Ballads and episode 10 is already uploaded, the algorithm will put it in your suggestions. But if you've watched 10 of my episodes and moved on to a YouTuber who does daily content, because waiting a month for me to publish the 11th one was getting boring, YouTube won't suggest my video to you when it's finally uploaded. It will keep recommending that YouTuber you're currently watching. So if you're someone who likes taking their time with their content and not publish on a daily basis, get fucked. But as the saying goes, don't hate the player, hate the game. I have nothing against anyone uploading on a daily basis. I wish I was able to do so as well, but unfortunately, I need to organize my thoughts into a cohesive script before I open my mouth, and writing takes quite a bit of time. And since I go through the trouble of writing a script, it's a waste of my talents not to also do a bit of heavy editing as well. End result? Projects take 100 to 300 hours to complete, depending on their length, and I doubt that anyone is capable of working that many hours in a single day. Therefore, I can't do daily videos, so I can only post once per month, but by that time, most people have already forgotten about the series, and the algorithm isn't putting my new videos in their recommendations, even though that's what it should do, since a lot of you guys click the button. By all rights, this series should be doing well. I've made sure to put maximum effort into each episode, almost, and you've done your best to support it. I literally can't ask any more of you. But apparently not even that is enough. Oh well, I could continue bitching about it, or I could keep trying to make it work, so I'm gonna have to find a compromise and produce episodes a lot faster. Maybe that'll help. If not, I have another trick up my sleeve, but I won't reveal that trick until I'm ready to use it. Whatever the case, Bandit's Ballads will have to wait, because for the last few weeks I've been working on a special project that's very near and dear to my heart, which I've actually announced in the description of episode 11. This special project is a thorough and comprehensive review of Conan Exiles. It may not be Bannerlord, but if you've enjoyed my last few videos, you will absolutely love this one, I guarantee it. This review is not meant to appease an algorithm, or chase trends, or to keep a promise. It's just something I make solely because I want to. If it actually does well, then I have a lot more of those kinds of videos planned, after the ballads come to an end. The script is finished and it covers 15 pages, which means that the video itself is going to be 40 to 50 minutes long, and if my calculations are correct, it will have over 1,000 different scenes, so it might take me a while to get it finished. I'm hoping to get it over and done with before the 20th of this month, and if I'm able to squeeze episode 12 before October 25th, when Bannerlord gets its full release, it would be amazing, but reviewing Bannerlord 2.0 takes priority, given my history with this game throughout its development cycle. After both reviews are finished, I shall focus only on Bandit's Ballads until Balon's story gets a proper ending, and after that, I'll have to get back to my old method of chasing trends and covering relevant games. Hopefully that will help my channel grow and start making me some goddamn money. After all, YouTube is my full-time job, and if it doesn't work, it is irresponsible for a man my age to keep chasing a dream instead of providing for his family. Oh, and just to clarify, I didn't make this video to complain and be like, "Oh, boo-hoo, woe is me, I have no luck, boo-hoo-hoo." Nah. Most of my content has been going great, it's just my playthroughs that seem to be doing bad at the moment. Simply because I can't quite find the right balance between quality and frequency. The vast majority of my videos don't need frequency. They'll perform acceptably regardless of how rarely I upload, as long as they're decent. But a series is like a delicate little flower that needs me to tend to it daily, so I don't know. Once I'm done with Bandit's Ballads, I might start a regular Let's Play and try to use it to develop my gift of the gab so I can free myself from depending on a script. I also have a humongous backlog of games I've been meaning to play, and haven't been able to because most of my time is consumed by editing videos or dealing with random bullshit. So perhaps instead of a Let's Play, I'll just stream as I play those games, which include, but are not limited to, XCOM 2, RimWorld, which is getting a new expansion, Metro Exodus, Elden Ring, as well as whatever new games appear on my radar. And if you're left asking yourself, alright, but what does he want? Why did he make this video? Quick answer: to keep you updated about what's going on behind the scenes and to give you a heads up about what to expect. All in the name of transparency. I'm not here to ask for money or support or anything else. Just a bit of understanding as to why I've done the things I've done and why I'll do the things that I'm about to do. Anyway lads, that's all I had to say. Thank you for your time, I hope you've learned something about how YouTube works, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.